does that remind you of? It may not remind you of anything because you're too young. But if you're old like me, you'll remember it as a jingle for Nestle's chocolate. Remember it? Nestles, Nestle's makes the very best chocolate. It's a jingle that follows a scale. It's a G scale right there. But today we're going to talk about how that scale, or at least part of it, it repeats itself as you move around the fingerboard. Now we've looked at this before. We looked at it at a video that was called Just 4 Notes, something like that. But I'm going to expand on it today. We're going to make it into 6 notes, and we're going to replicate those notes in 2 other places. And I think it's important to know it because it gets you more familiar with your fingerboard. And if you can find the notes better because of it, it really does help, especially if you're trying to learn how to play lead guitar, or you want to find different chords, or you're looking for just different voicings, and you know what key you're in, and you find a different root note, that you can add to it, or whatever, a compatible note. I just think it's good to know. So, can you play the guitar without learning a whole bunch? Yes, you can play, and you can play very well. As a matter of fact, I think Tommy Emmanuel talks about this. He didn't, get into theory and learn all about scales and what have you, but that man is gifted. So, because he plays just about every scale, every way that you want to look at it. That man can see it, feel it, play it. So, but today I'm going to show you just another little part of the fingerboard to help you move just a little closer to feeling comfortable with finding your way around the fingerboard, finding those notes, finding those root notes, finding where to start when you're going to play the pentatonic scale and use it for a lead or something. So I think it's a good thing to learn. What I'm going to show you today doesn't take long to learn because we're only looking at a small bite size, just a little bit. We're not going to look at the whole fingerboard. We're not going to try to swallow the apple all in one bite. We're going to take it a bite at a time, okay? So I thought I'd pick out this little, because it follows exactly the 6 notes I want to share with you today. It starts out here on the G. I need to make a couple announcements before we get started, though. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m., I have a Zoom call with those members that are interested in participating. But members, if you have not received a link, then you won't be able to link into the call. Send me an email and I'll make sure it gets to you. If you haven't received it by now, it's because a mistake was made. Or perhaps you didn't send me an email to begin with. But if you don't have it and you want to join, send an email. There's still time. And I'll be watching for it and send you the link. Okay, so that's coming up tomorrow, 6 p.m. California time. And then the end of the week, Thursday, I'm going to be leaving on a road trip. And we'll be going across the United States about 3/4 of the way and visiting stores. And it should be a lot of fun. So as I visit those stores, I'll be putting out videos, share those experiences with you. So I look forward to it, and I hope you enjoy it as well. All right, let's get back to this. Okay, here we go. So we're back to this little scale here. And it starts with a G note here. And if you move up 2 frets, you'll hit A. And if you move up 2 frets, B, so it's G, A, B. But you know what? You can continue on to C by moving up 1 fret, or you can go back up to the 3rd fret on the 5th string, and you'll find C again. So you have G, A, B, C. There it is right there. So you got a C here and a C here and a C here. I mean, we're learning all kinds of C's here. Okay, so, okay, here we go. So there's C. So if we move up 2 frets from this C, we'll hit D. And if you move up 2 more frets, E. We can finish this scale because we've got to have 7 notes to have a scale, right? And then you start all over again. So if you move over to the 4th string, 4th fret, you'll find an F sharp. And then you move to the 5th string, 4th fret, the 4th string, 5th fret. I'll get it. You finish off the scale by going back to G. So there you got it. You move over to the 3rd string, down 2. You'll always find a duplicate string. That means if you slide this around, and this is a G, this is an A, so that's an A, that's a B, that's a C and a C, another C, D, okay? So that's a good little thing to know right there. 3rd fret, and then move down to the 5th fret here, just on the 4th string. You always have a duplicate. Just an octave higher. Okay, so now we know G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, all right. So that's a full scale right there for G. I wasn't really going to show you that much. I just wanted to focus on this part right here. N-E-S-T-L-E-S, Nestle's makes the very best. That's one I wanted to show you. Not so much the song, but just to let you know that those scales are useful. I had somebody reach out and ask me, well, now that I know this, now what? Well, that's a question of a lifetime. That's what you want to try to find a match to for sure. It's kind of like, as I stated, it's like being dressed up with no place to go. And I think as you learn this, you're going to find that if you're playing lead, or if you're trying to bring melody out in something, to know where these notes are at, to find the root note, it will help you a lot. So let it unfold. Don't try to get it all at once. Just start by mastering this part. Spend a little time with it every day. Don't always do nothing but scales. Play some chords and play some songs. Learn to strum and play songs and sing with them, or have somebody sing along. Don't leave that part out. Have fun with your guitar. But also spend a little time just kind of thinking about this. If this is G, this is A, this is B, where else can I find it on the fingerboard? And C, D, E, there it is right there. And if that's an E, well, we know that's an open E, and that's an open E, because the E strings are duplicated, right? So now we've found another E. And we can find another one right here. What does this remind you of? How about the C chord? The C's match here. There's the E's. F, G. I don't know if you caught that, but you can see how it works, because if you're playing C, you want to go to D, you can move that up, and it's one of those things that slide like this one. It just makes it fun, that's all. And you can play around with it. Look for ways to throw it together. Play music and try to play along and try to bring in some of this. If you know that music's in the key of G, try to find the melody with your scale that you now know and play along with that music. Got to make sure you're in the right key or a compatible key. But I'd start by playing something real simple like Bobby McGee, sung by Janis Joplin. I don't know. I mean, just try to find a way and try to use those scales as you go along. Okay, so let's move on here. Okay, so now that we know this, I promised you that I'd show you how it duplicates. Well, so that's kind of neat. So we know this, and you can finish it up and have the full scale if you want, but we can repeat this right here, just by moving over to the fourth string and moving up to. Does it look familiar? Because those are the same, those G notes are the same, and you're going to start your G here. It's a duplicate, it's just a higher register. G, A, B, C, D, E. There it is again, okay? Same notes, just an octave higher. That's it, okay? So now we know. And we knew that was E right there, right? And we knew that this was E. It's kind of interesting. It's part of the power chord. The E5. Okay. So that's kind of neat because it all kind of links, but it's really, really neat to know these notes and study them for a while. Just study these, G, A, B, C, D, E, and get it in your brain, G, A, B, C, D, E, and then come over here and move down to the, you're moving over to the fourth fret, right? Or excuse me, the fourth fret. Okay. Now, this is all going to repeat again by going up to where you started here, back to this point, and move over to the second string. But in this case, because of the whole B note issue, you're going to move up 3 frets to the 8th fret. Okay? There it is again. Just a higher register. Okay? G, A, B, C, D, E. It repeats itself. Okay? And so when you play this, think about the fact of what notes you're playing. Because in doing that, you know that this is a G, and you know that this is a G, and you know that this is a G, and you know that this is a G. You found G all over your fingerboard, simply because you know. Okay? And the other thing to note, because you can finish this particular do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, the same way that you finish the other one. Just those duplicate notes on this, but this time it's on the second string. And you're going from fret 7 to 8. Here, it was from string 4 to 5. Here it's going to be their duplicate, but it finishes that scale off right there. Now you can't do it for this one because there's no notes up here. You'd have to come back over here and finish it up, starting the strings over again. But Well, I think I'm going to leave it right there. Just practices G, A, B, C, D, E. Move over. Then move to the 8th fret. And when you go through it, you might even set a metronome up and try to do it without skipping a beat. And take it slow, and then go back and try to go backwards with it, and just keep doing that, and then go through it and say the notes. G, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, until you get used to that, and then think about it. Say to yourself, okay, so if this is G, then this is G, then this has to be G. And go to the A. And if this has to be A, then that has to be A. And just move around a little bit and get yourself used to doing that, okay? And don't spend a lot of time doing it every day, but spend some time, okay? And practice that. And the other thing is when you're practicing, practice keeping your thumb working strings 6, 5, 4, and these 3 fingers taking care of strings 3, 2, 1. It'll come in handy as you move along. Okay. All right. So I'm going to leave this right there. And I hope you all have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.